I'm Roxanne, and if you're heading to the boat show this season and you're really afraid that you're gonna look stupid or that you're gonna waste your time, or maybe even that you really don't want to make a super expensive mistake, then this is the video for you. I have sold boats for over 30 years and actually wrote the book on it. So I've walked people through this process thousands of times. And especially in the winter when it's frozen outside, you can't even test drive it. Today I'm sharing real world tips. The things that real world boaters know before they head to the boat show. It's the things buyers learn the hard way. Things like what to wear. So let's start there.
It's time for our section on confidence builders.
Tip number 1, rest like you're gonna take your shoes off. Because you're going to. So we don't want any wardrobe malfunctions with, let's say, your big toe flying through the front of your sock. That'd be a little embarrassing, right? Happens all the time. So just make sure you get some fancy pairs of socks. Now, if you want to go to boatvana.com/socks, I have made pairs for the boat show. Yep, one red, one green. Pretty cool. But seriously, boat shows are not fashion shows. You want to dress so that you are comfortable, but that you're also able to maneuver. You're going to be getting on boats, getting off boats, climbing down in cabins, climbing out of cabins. Especially for ladies, if you're wearing high heels, that's not exactly the best move. You want to wear shoes that you can get off. You don't want to be wearing a skirt because, again, you're going to be climbing up things like stairs and ladders, and just make it comfortable for yourself. You will be walking where other people haven't worn shoes. So make sure that you have socks that don't have holes in them, because otherwise, I promise you, the confidence killer of the day is when you go and you're like, oh my goodness, I have to take off my shoes and my socks are not public ready. Wear easy on, easy off shoes, wear comfortable clothes, and dress in layers so that you can move around. Now remember, this isn't about style. This is about actually being able to see how the function of the boat works. Think about when you're using it. You are not actually using the boat while wearing, dress or formal clothes. You are while you're wearing, shorts, swimsuit, that kind of thing. So naturally at the boat show, you don't want to come dressed in a swimsuit, but you do want to come dressed comfortably so you understand exactly how the boat fits. The boat has to fit you. Get it? So remember, this isn't about style. It's about how the boat fits you. Our next tip, make sure to travel light, because you know what? You are going to accumulate stuff. Boat shows are sensory overload. You've got brochures, you've got flyers, you have bags, you've got, photos that you're taking. All of these things just accumulate stuff. And I would recommend this. Bring a backpack. Just a small one, because then when you wear it, it's comfortable on your back. If you've got a bag that you're holding, it can kind of hurt your arms after 2 or 3 hours when you're at the boat show. And yes, you'll be at the boat show 2 or 3 hours. So make sure that you're thinking about these things ahead of time so that you can accumulate the things without making your trip exhausting. And back to the backpack. Way better than a small tote. And again, it's something that if you're going to just carry it on one shoulder, maybe a tote bag is better because it's easier to get in and out of. Think of how you're going to use that bag. And I know this sounds silly, but it's so true. It's when you're going to the boat show, you're there to look at the boat, and we want to be in a good mood while you're doing this. So that's why you want to think ahead about what you're actually going to put stuff into. And I do also recommend taking notes. So whatever your note-taking preference is, if you're going to take those notes on your phone, that's great if that's what you're comfortable with. But don't be afraid to bring a notebook and your own paper pen. This is the boat show. This is what you're deciding on. This is a very expensive process that you're going through. You're looking at how your lifestyle is going to change. So don't start to worry about what other people around you are going to think. This is about you and your buying process. Another thing, if you're bringing the kiddos, which you should, because they are going to be actively involved in this family activity, bring the stroller. I know it might seem weird if they're kind of older and you don't usually use it, but they're going to get tired and then they get cranky. But the stroller is also a great way to put all those things that you want to bring with, that you accumulate, all of the brochures and the flyers and all that good stuff. You've got a place to wheel it around. Plan that coat strategy. Dress in layers, and here's the reason why. Okay, so it's cold outside and it's warm inside, and you don't know what to wear. Now, I'm a Minnesotan, and we pride ourselves in dressing in layers, but we also pride ourselves in leaving the coat in the car. Even at the Minneapolis show, they have a coat check. You have to check with your own local show as to whether or not this option exists, but that is wonderful. We also have skyways, so you can actually park and never go outside, which is why you leave your coat and your heavy shoes, your boots, all that stuff in the car. If you're going to bring it with you, just make sure you know that you can check it possibly, or just that you're going to be walking around for 3 hours. You don't want a heavy down coat with you. You don't want to be carrying it in your arms. It gets exhausting. So plan ahead, dress in layers. I say do the whole Biff and Buffy thing, you know, from the 80s where they would take off the sweatshirt and put it around their neck. I mean, you're at the boat show. You can do that kind of thing. Anyway, it's one of those things where it's like, just be aware of it, because you want to have your hand free for a beverage while you're shopping, and you don't want to be having a big coat that you're carrying. So just dress in layers.
It's time for our section on how buyers decide.
Sit where you're actually going to sit. If you are the captain majority of the time, make sure to sit at the captain's chair. If you are going to be riding in the back, in the corner, that's your spot, sit in the boat. Don't just get on the boat standing and looking around. This isn't like when you go and visit your Aunt Betty and she's got plastic on the furniture and you are not allowed to sit down on it. This is the boat show. This is where you actually get on the boat and you sit. And you have a conversation. Spend more than 14 seconds sitting down. It is totally appropriate. There are other people that are going to be walking around you, and that's cool because that's probably not the boat that they're inclined to. But if this is the one you're thinking of, spend time with it. Get used to it. Get familiar with it, because you really want to make sure that you're comfortable. And while you're sitting there, if all of a sudden, like, the seat doesn't hit your legs the right way and it starts to hurt your knees, that's not the right boat. You got to find the one that you're comfortable in. Again, I say this theme a lot. This is the opportunity for you to be purchasing the thing you're going to spend your free time on. This isn't the car, which is just to and from the store. This is where you're actually going and bringing friends and entertaining on board. Okay, so other questions? When you're on board, you want to make sure that this is working comfortably for you. Are you comfortable? When you stand up, do you still have enough headroom? If there's a cover on board, can you still stand up, or are you crouched over? I know it seems strange to think of those things, but when you're out on the boat, it can rain. So then what happens? So you want to make sure, can you see comfortably? If you're sitting and when the boat comes up to plane, if you have, a bolster seat that flips up and you're sitting on that, can you see? I mean, those are things that you'll find out during the performance and the handling when you go out on a lake test. But you want to make sure that you give it every opportunity while the boat's on land to make sure that you don't fall in love with the boat and then have it have some sort of function that doesn't work for you. The next thing, is it comfortable? Is it relaxed? Or is everybody going to crowd into the same place? And what I mean by that is, in an open bow boat, if you're planning to bring 2 other couples with you, where are they going to sit on the boat? Are you all going to sit in the bow? Because I got news for you. You better have 2 adults sitting across from each other to see exactly how much leg room you have. The other thing, if you were going to go for a deck boat, which are slightly wider, you'll have more room. Is there an option to put a table in the middle of it, like if you wanted to play cards? These things are super important to figure out how you are going to use it. If you're going to go out fishing on a boat, are you going to be able to stand up? Are you going to be able to cast? How are you going to get the functions done of the hobby that you want to pursue while boating? Does that make sense? It's really important things is to make sure to actually visualize when you're at the show how you're going to use the boat. Okay, so the one piece of advice, when you get on the boat, they all look great. Boats, though, they either live or die by the way you sit in them. So make sure that when you're sitting in it, you enjoy it. Compare boats in the same price range and in a realistic price range. When you're at the show, absolutely go and visit the $250,000, $300,000 boat. If you're at a bigger show and there's a multi-million-dollar boat there, for sure, go and see it. That's not the one that you're likely going to buy. If you are, cool, that's awesome. But if you are the one that's, looking at the $30,000 price range, then it's unrealistic to be looking at the $60,000 price range. Does that make sense? So then if you're going to be looking at boat A and boat B and boat C, make sure they're relatively in that same, I would say like a $5,000 price range, because otherwise what you're doing then is you're jumping out of your market into a different boat, and obviously those ones are going to have better bells and whistles on them. So you want to make sure that you're being realistic within your price range, and that means beforehand finding out what you can afford. If you're going to pay cash, if you're going to finance it, how much the financing costs, so that you know ahead of time, so that you're not disappointed and you didn't waste time. Remember, our tip number 2 is you don't want to waste time when you're at the show. So make sure that you are looking in a realistic price range. The other thing you can do too, and this is for a more sophisticated buyer, if you think that you like the $30,000 price range, what you can do if you're looking at a boat that's more expensive is get the ballpark of what that boat costs used, 3 to 5 years old. And if you look on Boatvana, you'll see our used boats that we have for sale and what their price ranges are, because that can give you an idea of how the boat's depreciated, so that you know if you're looking at a used boat, what to expect. And so again, price ranges are super important. Enjoy the super expensive ones, but then also make sure that you're realistic about what your price range is, so that the boat show has the best impact for you. And again, what you're doing is you're trading off the values, and you're trading off what really matters to you in terms of how that fits into your price range. The sophisticated buyers, when they go to this show, understand what they're looking for. They can look at every boat there, but they really are honing in on what they want. For example, if they know they want a fishing boat, they're not going to be looking at a cabin cruiser. Or if they know they want a pontoon, then they're not going to be looking at a speedboat. Make sense? So get your basic parameters down. If this is your first show and you don't have any idea, welcome to the show. It's also a great reason to visit the show, so that you can get an idea by talking to the salespeople and really finding out what your boating needs are going to narrow down to. And I know it seems overwhelming, but there's plenty of resources online that you can go through and try to help you narrow it down. But again, price ultimately is the bottom line in terms of how people pick that boat. Storage matters more than you think. People will run out of storage before they run out of horsepower. So when you're at the show and you're sitting in the corner, some things to consider are this. Where does the cooler go? Where do the wet beach towels go? There's a tip on things that are wet that go on the boat. Number 1, your plastic bags that you get at the grocery store, never put them on your vinyl seats, because the ink doesn't dry and the ink will transfer to your seat. You don't want that to happen. And some swimwear can do the same thing. Once they get wet, you sit down, all of a sudden you have a butt print on that canvas, and it happens. There's ways to get it off, but just be aware of this. So where are you going to put the wet beach towels? Where are you going to put the garbage? I mean, you can go wide open on a boat. So you're going like 30 miles an hour. Garbage is flying everywhere, right? You don't want to be that person. We want to keep our lakes clean. Visit lakeitclean.com. This is a nice program that we've got that you take a pledge, get a little certificate in the mail, but you don't want to be that person that has garbage flying out of your boat. And there's usually places for trash. If you've got a bigger party on board, you can bring a white garbage bag, right? Where are you going to hang it? What are you going to do with these things? Because pretty soon this beautiful, nice, clean boat that you're sitting in front of and you're visiting at the boat show, all of a sudden becomes a cluttered mess. Because you're like, where does everything go? Where do I put my bag when I get on board? Where does my purse go? Where do my shoes go? We're gonna go out to dinner. Where do we put stuff on the boat? Is it able to be locked? Can you lock a cabin on it? Can you lock an area on it? Is there anything like that? These are all important things when you're considering how you're going to use the boat. And it's so important because, like I said, you're looking at a beautiful, clean, showroom ready boat, and you're going to be bringing your kids, and they're going to have their beach towels and their toys and their inflatables. Where is this all going to go? How do you tuck it down so that, again, when you're driving fast, you don't have the raft fly out of the boat? Now, there are things you can tie them down with, but again, once you tie it down, then how are you going to walk in the middle of the boat to go get a beverage, right? All of these things are important, so just make sure that you consider storage when you're looking at the boat.
Clean water, happy vibes, and endless summer days. Every float, every splash, and every sunny spin, it all starts with a sparkling lake. Join the movement that keeps our waters clean and carefree. Together, we can make waves that matter. Float free, splash responsibly, and join us at Lake It Clean. It's time for our section on preventing regret.
Now, winter boat buying is totally normal, even without a test drive. A lot of boats are bought in the winter, and the reason is you buy it and then you do it contingent on being able to take it on a lake test. No one expects you to be able to go out right then and there and take it on the ice. Now, if you're in an area of, climate where you don't have ice, it might be possible that you're going to test drive it quickly. But in, the upper Midwest, what we do is we buy the boat and then we take it on a drive as soon as the ice goes out. Okay, so what is the boat show for then? Well, the boat show is so that you can compare a bunch of of boats on how it fits you. You want to make sure that you get in, that you sit in the boat so that you know exactly where the can coolers are. It's a big deal. I mean, this is the thing you are going to be spending your relaxation time on. The last thing you want to do is have it not fit you. So that layout is super important. And you got to look at the seats, open them, close them, make sure that it's going to be how you want to do it. This is how the boat fits you. The other thing you're doing, you're checking the condition of the boats, you're checking the features on them. If you don't have a stereo you like, sure, that can be replaced. But what about the cool night lighting that you can get? Now, maybe that doesn't make a difference to you if you never go out at night. So these are all of the things that you want to have kind of pre-planned before you head to the boat show. You also get to check on pricing, because while you can look at two different brands of boats, they may have very similar boats that have the same style and same layout, and one might be significantly more expensive, or the other one might have the feature that you're really looking for. And that's the wonderful part about the boat show, is that you can just be 500 feet away and be able to see it instead of driving halfway across town. And remember, the boat show is someplace where you're checking out how the boat looks and how it feels, and you will get that opportunity on the lake or on the water later to be able to see how it handles. But don't wait too long, because if your philosophy is, well, I'll just wait until spring when the ice is out and then I'll go look at it, your inventory is going to be thinner, because as you're at the show, people are buying. And so it's the thing where you want to get the money down so that you have that opportunity later if this is the boat you really think that you really want. Make sense? You've got two boats that you're looking at, and they have nearly the same price. You've got to ask what's included, because one of the boats may include the trailer while the other one doesn't. Maybe one has fancy covers on it, like they have the covers that go over the windshield, or they have a separate, driving cover versus a storage cover. And all of those things come into play when you're talking about price. Some of them might have a bigger warranty. And so really start to listen when you're in that $35,000 price range, that you're getting your best money's worth, or maybe you're up in a $75,000 price range, because you don't want to all of a sudden get to the end of the day and go, wait a minute, I thought the trailer was included, and then have to buy an expensive trailer. All of these things are important, so make sure you're comparing apples to apples, even if it's two different boating brands. That sign on the boat is just the beginning. But you have to know how it's going to be delivered. Is there a price involved for doing the lake test? Is there a price involved for warranty? Oh, and most important of all, you guys, if you buy something and it has a warranty, how is the warranty executed? Because if you're buying a boat from a dealer that's maybe 100 or 200 miles away from your home, how do you get it fixed? Do you have to drive it that far? Is there a local dealer that you can get it fixed at? These are all particular questions that you should keep on your list in your notebook as you're going through the show, because again, they should be able to answer it right away as to where you're located and how far away the nearest dealer is. Or maybe they make a service call, but is there a charge for the service call? Because sometimes they'll do that. You'll get a charge for the service call, even though the warranty item is included. All important things. Can warranty work? Wait, if you had a warranty issue happen in the middle of summer, you don't want to go 4 weeks to get it fixed. You'd rather get it fixed over the winter, but your warranty would end. Is there a grandfather period where you can get it fixed after that? Ask those questions. It's super important. When you're at the boat show, make sure to look at the used boats they have for sale there. They may not have them on site, but they do usually have a picture board or a flip book or computer that's running through the different inventory that they have, and take a look, because oftentimes it's the condition over the year that will make a complete difference on price. And while you're at the boat show, it is a great opportunity to take a look and see what used boats are out there in your area. And with that, what I'm saying is you can have somebody who took brilliant care of their boat and it's 15 years old versus somebody who just drove it like a rental car. And then that boat isn't in good shape. It might only be 2 or 3 years old, but ultimately your condition is more important than the year. So make sure to check out the Boatvana site, because we have a lot of used boats for sale and they might be in your area. Just like the boat show is a great opportunity, because if you've got 10 or 15 dealers right on site that have boats, the person who's at the boat show looking to buy a new one, they possibly have the 23-foot boat you want because they want a 25-footer. And then the really cool thing is the dealer knows this. They know that person isn't gonna buy the 25 until they sell theirs. And so then you become a perfect fit into this chain. And that's a lot of what the boat show is about. Remember, when you're out there and you're making friends with the salespeople, they have those inside connections.
Have you ever noticed that boats are family? I mean, we give them names, share memories, and smile every time we see their wake. So when it's time to sell, make it easy and meaningful. List your boat for free for 7 days at boatvana.com, because letting go should still feel like a happy boat day.
And remember, as you're walking around with your notebook and your backpack, boat shows are for research. That's important to know. There's no deadline, there's no pressure. The salespeople are trying to help you out. They're also trying to help themselves, obviously, because they're making commissions. But there is no actual deadline. Sure, somebody may buy that boat, but then there's always going to be another one. Just remember to take your time, take a deep breath, sleep on it. Make sure that you are comfortable with this decision because it's something that you're going to be using on your free time for many years to come. Taking the boat show as your opportunity for research is super important. Stay focused, stay organized. And like I said earlier, you can use your phone for your research mechanism, or if you use paper and pen, if you take pictures, jot a note down as to where you took that picture, because very quickly when you're at the show, things start to blend together. And then all of a sudden you're like, wait, I saw this boat, but I don't remember exactly where it was. Okay, so then if you actually write down a note when you took a picture, blue boat with orange interior was at this dealer. That will help you out in about 3 days after the show when you don't remember who you saw where. Get people's names, get people's phone numbers. They may give you a business card. Business cards are cool, but if it's something where you're taking notes in one notebook, jot the number down in your notebook. You can give them a call once you've done even more research online or you've talked to friends, that your confidence comes from clarity. So while you may be nervous to visit the boat show to start with, once you get this one under your belt, you are going to be just fine going through the rest of the process for buying. The boat show season and visiting a boat show should make you feel more confident. It should not leave you overwhelmed. It should not leave you confused. You should be having fun. Don't get pressured into buying something that is just because it's a good price right now. Buy it, buy it, buy it. No. You have to think of how you're going to use it. And I hope these tips have helped. The boat show is such a super important area to visit and include in your boat buying process because you get an opportunity to pick up tips and tidbits from a whole bunch of industry experts. So if you want more walkthroughs, more real world tips, that's what we're here for. That's what Boatvana is all about, is making it real for real boaters. Make sure to list in the comments, what was important to you during your buying process. Ask questions. Maybe somebody else will jump in and answer for you. Boating is a whole community and we're looking to welcome more people into it. So thanks for watching. Good luck at the show and enjoy your boat buying journey.